Hi everyone, my name is Heather Poulter and I'm the Teacher Academy Director for One School Global North America. One School Global is the largest, most comprehensive global school that exists around the world. With over 9,500 students enrolled in our K-12 program, we have 120 campuses that exist across the world. We also have 2,000 teaching staff that are located in 20 countries. We've been on a journey of digital learning for about the past 10 years, and our students connect with their teachers every day through online platforms. And we know that this transition to online teaching has been a challenge for a lot of people, and we're hoping to inspire you and to share some tips to help you feel a little bit more equipped to teach online, or at least to move in that direction. So the video that you're about to see is a grade 10 art class, and in this class, our campus principal from Chicago, Amanda Lishimer, has asked her students to prepare a project and to also prepare a presentation. So the students were allowed to choose any medium that they wished to choose, and they needed to complete the project fairly independently, which is the situation for a lot of us at the moment. The students were also, in their presentation plan, asked to show both the process of how they arrived at the final project and then to reflect on maybe what they would do differently or some different techniques that they would use, and also some challenges and roadblocks that they ran into whilst completing their project. So we think that this is a great example of how students can be creative because they were allowed to choose any medium and they just had to put any kind of presentation together. These students chose to make a mosaic tiger, and they decided that they were going to make a time-lapse video to showcase this. So it's a really neat video. We hope that you'll find it inspirational. Stay tuned for a great piece of student work.
Judd and I have wanted to make a mosaic for a long time, and we decided this was the perfect opportunity and went for it. First, we had to decide what we would use for the subject of the mosaic. We decided to do a tiger because of how visually appealing they were. We found several pictures and then finally narrowed it down to one. Then we had to decide what to make the mosaic out of. We originally thought that we could use M&Ms because they had all the colors we needed. But after doing the math, we figured out it would cost over $300, so we decided that cutting up crayons was a better option. Then we began to trace the tiger picture onto a transparency sheet, and then projected it onto a much larger paper wrapped around stiff cardboard for a backing. Once that was done, I color-coded the entire picture. We also had to refer to the original picture a lot for color and shape clarifications. Then all we had to do was make the mosaic. We had a couple of setbacks. The first one was we ran out of crayons halfway through. The second one was when the glue dried, it stretched the paper so much that the cardboard backing started to bend. We think the end result was nice, although it does seem to look a lot nicer in pictures for some reason. All we have to do now is make a frame. Enjoy the rest of the time lapse. This is the picture that we're making the tiger from. Not everything is perfectly in detail, but it did help us really get an idea of what to make a tiger look like.
Okay, guys, we're just finishing up here. It's almost done.
Laying the last couple.
Sean's gonna lay some glue. There's Sean. There's the glue.
Then
And Lance is gonna put in the final white pieces.
since he helped us so much on this thing.
Go,
That was
Lance.
insane.
long did it take you?
I think it took 60 hours. That's how much film we had. But there are
We
some,
didn't film everything either.
because in the time lapse you can see that there's some stuff that.
How many crayons did you guys use?
First we wiped out the school, and then we did like 20 boxes of orange, which we bought, like 12 of each. And then there's 15 of black and probably like 10 of white. And then
All the other
brown,
colors we just
we had enough, like Jed brought in all his from home, and we used the ones from the school and some other willing donors.
Have you guys considered melting it?
Marcus, can you explain to me why everybody asks that? Like, literally anybody who sees it is like, are you going to melt that? They should already melt it.
Because it'd be way cooler. Like, it'd be like a really neat piece of art.
Well, okay, we have thought about it, and we probably are going to do it once we get a frame. The good thing about melting is that the paper would flatten again. But the problem is, number one, it could melt like really bad and then just blend the crayons, which would look good. And also, then it wouldn't really, if they blended perfectly, it really wouldn't be a mosaic anymore because it's just like blended colors. It's not like a big picture made of little stuff, but I don't know. It would probably look cooler and it would bend the paper back down. I don't know. We'll see.
The example that you just saw was a really great showcase of how teachers and students can use technology to accomplish a task. And it might not be in the traditional way, and that's okay. It's great to think outside the box. So if you are in a situation where you aren't face-to-face with your students and you're needing to be creative and to try and figure out how can I deliver my subject matter online, we really encourage you to think about how you could capture both the process and the product and have students show you what they know and how they arrived at that learning. So 4 big takeaways that we have for you, as always. The first one is that you really don't need to change everything that you typically would do in a classroom. Just really think about what makes sense. What can you make work? It doesn't have to be novel. It doesn't have to be really outside the box. We're just trying to make sure that the learning continues. The second thing is that now more than ever, our students need us to check in regularly. So in this example, the students worked fairly independently on this project, but Amanda made really sure that she was checking in regularly, whether it's by phone or by email. In our case, she was checking in by Zoom, but whatever tools you have at your disposal, use them to check in, provide feedback, give guidance, and really connect with your students to find out how the process is going. The third takeaway is to make sure that you give your students very clear expectations and let them know what exactly you're going to be assessing, because that will be really, really important. When the students know what you expect of them and what you need to see, they can then take it from there and be creative. And that's how we ended up with this recording of the students making a time-lapse video. The students were just told that they needed to create a presentation, but weren't necessarily told how to do it. So they used their own creativity to come up with something, and it was a pretty neat end result. The last key takeaway is just to consider the idea that fear can sometimes take hold of us, and we really want to encourage you not to be afraid to try something new. It's okay if it doesn't go perfectly, and your students won't be bothered that it wasn't the best lesson ever. They just want to connect with you, and they want to try something different and try something new. And let's face it, they remember those lessons that really stretch their thinking and break the traditional mold. So don't be afraid to just jump in and go for it. And if it doesn't work well the first time, you can do it differently the next time around. So we hope that you really enjoyed this video and enjoyed this showcase of student work as much as we did. We would encourage you to follow us on our YouTube channel, and you can subscribe as well. You can follow us on social media. We're pretty active there, so you'll be able to get other tips and tricks on how to teach in a digital environment. Thanks very much, everybody, and we hope you stay well.